needs to win. We jump into game number 1 in this best of 3. Donati is going to be on the southern part of the map as the Rus in red, and to the north it is going to be the Mongols for GiveUAnxiety in blue, with a beautiful TC spot that's right next to the Ovu.
Actually, that's such an amazing TC spot because he doesn't need a stable anymore to get a double scout. He can do it from the town center.
Exactly. The real question is, are you going to wait until you have enough stone for the double scout, or are you just going to pop it out at the beginning? And the answer is that he's not going to wait. He's just going to go for the second scout immediately. He won't wait until he piles up the stone.
In my opinion, he should wait because one scout, it takes 2 shots to kill an animal. But if you have a double one, you can speed things up, or you can take out 2 hunts at the same time. Like your opponent will go for his hunts.
That is a reasonable idea indeed. On the other hand, you probably want to try and deny the hunt of the opponent as soon as possible. So he's probably like, okay, I need to go and kill as many hunt as I can. Even one scout is better than just having the only Khan out there, so that you can start gathering those wolves. Looking at Don Artie, he's already at 55 bounty, as they do have a bit of a scuffle here in between the Khan and the scout.
GiveUAnxiety just needs to wait for the scout to shoot an animal, and then he can kill it.
Exactly. Looks like he's giving up on this one, though, instead trying to look for the wolves. As you said, the wolves are probably the more gold-efficient animal to look for. Where are they, even? You got
They are
Donardi.
behind GiveUAnxiety scout. He has 4 wolves.
Ooh, that's very nice. It's very, very nice. Donardi has been prioritizing the deer quite a bit, you see. He already finished off 2 patches of huntables, including one behind the base of GiveUAnxiety, but GOA has to be happy with those 4 wolves chasing him. Although,
There's another 4 wolves on the right sacred site.
ooh, yup, that could be juicy for Don Artie. He hasn't found them yet. He's going for the deer first, or that 155 bounty. So if he kills this patch of huntables in front of GiveUAnxiety's base, and he kills the huntables on the left, plus finds these wolves on the right side, then it's going to be like 350, 400 bounty. An absolute dream for him.
Yep. The ideal bounty that you want to get is 350. Because if you get 350 bounty, then by killing the 2 boars, you can get at 500. So that's the ideal number.
Exactly. Although your priority right now is to secure enough gold for professional scouts and the fast castles. So, of course, if you get to tier 2 bounty, that's a minimum, I would say, and as close as you can to tier 3 bounty, so that you can just get to tier 3 with the boars. That's probably your best bet. There's the Golden Gate coming in with 4 villagers for Donardi. And on the other side, we do have a very exposed gold mine for GiveUAnxiety, something that we haven't talked about yet. He's going up with the deer stones, as you expect.
Yeah, his gold mine is really, really vulnerable, and his woodlines are in the back. While on the other hand, Donarti has 2 forward woodlines. And I already see the archers being in between these 2 woodlines with a ram, cutting the wood of Donarti.
That could be massive. Donardi finds 1 wolf on the right side, but 2 more were untouched, so he's gonna have to go back over there for those. Bit of a scuffle on the left side, looking for those huntables, and it looks like Donardi actually gets the better out of that. 325 bounty, and he is not gonna be able to shoot that deer down. Bit of a micro here. Whoever shoots first won't get the kill. That's how that meta goes, as we end with 335 bounty for the Rus player.
So basically, if you find a scout on top of the hunt, just hit the scout until he shoots a deer, and then you shoot the deer.
Looks like the deer stones is almost finished here for GiveUAnxiety, building it with 4 villagers. And I have to say that Donardi has to be satisfied with this start. 340 bounty is a very nice start for him. And there is still a lot of bounty to be found on the right side. 2 wolves and 3 sheep. The sheep themselves worth 5 food each, right?
Yes. 5 bounty each, and that means that if he gets those sheep, Then he gets the boars and he's at 500 bounty.
Feudal Age is in as expected. There's the professional scouts, and on the other side, it looks like we could have professional scouts as well. That's usually the meta with the Mongols, although looks like GiveUAnxiety is changing things up. No professional scouts because he pulled the villagers off from gold, so he doesn't have the gold he needs for professional scouts. Instead, it looks like it's going to be very aggressive archer range and ram push. You see, he's already making that blacksmith for the infantry siege technology.
Yep. I was expecting something like this, especially if he changed his plan watching the wood lines. Like, if I scouted my opponent having wood lines like this, then as I told you, like, the only thing I can see inside the roost base is archers in that choke point with the ram in the front. It can stop your opponent from gathering wood. There's no other wood to gather from. It's just like those wood lines.
The defensive tower is up for Donati over here, as it looks like the Khan is checking out the gold mine of Donati, but guess what? There is no one mining gold there, because why should you even mine gold with the Rus at the beginning? Very heavy on the wood is Donati, so he's probably going to sell that for gold. This is actually a newer iteration of the build, or a different iteration than what we have seen so far. He's not going that heavy on food.
It has to do with he has nothing to gather from. He only has one ship left and it's almost done. So if he had his villagers on food, they would be idle. Unless they went for the berries. And he doesn't want to go for the berries. So he was waiting for the food carcasses to arrive.
That makes a whole lot of sense. It really doesn't matter if he's selling some of his food or wood here. So he now has to divert a lot of villagers to food though, because that's his main bottleneck going into Castle Age. He just sold 200 wood for 300 gold over here, and now he's ferrying in the deer. Meanwhile though, GiveUAnxiety is coming in with double archers, and looking at that, we already have the infantry siege upgrade coming in. Just a standard upgrade because you don't need the improved, as you still cannot make springalds in Feudal Age, so you can just go for the standard upgrade, you don't need the improved version.
Already a ram is being made.
It's a very, very nice timing over here by GiveUAnxiety. And for Donati, he's got no idea about that. He saw the archers, so he knows there is something out here. He might suspect something is coming, but the big deal is that he didn't have the food, as you said. So he's...
What are the chances, though? Maybe this actually works for him, because he already gathered 1000 wood. So he won't need as much wood. So he could play with stables. Like if he goes H3 and makes 3 stables and start pumping out knights, he could play with that. But I guess gold might be the issue then. But horsemen could also work against pure archers.
Yeah, against pure archers, horsemen could work. He actually went for the villager hunting upgrade as well, so he's got a very nice food source now. And it looks like he wants to pull this fast castle off, but he has to be careful because every single building that's set on fire by that ram of GiveUAnxiety is 50 food and 50 gold for our blue player, and those buildings can be set on fire very easily with that ram, just a couple of hits. And that's going to be a nice amount of resources for GUA. Castle Age on the way for Donati, pretty much pulling everybody he has to make that building. Pulls the villagers to do some damage to ram as the archers are a little mispositioned.
Houses. That's one of the first priorities that you should have when you're doing a ram push against a build like this. And this looks pretty scary. Actually, this looks really, really scary.
It looks scary because if you look at Donati, he's going to be housed like crazy. It doesn't matter that you get up to Castle Age when you simply can't make a unit because you are housed like just insanely. And as you said, it's actually a life-saving thing for him that he has enough wood to make new houses. Because if he didn't bank up this many wood, then he wouldn't be able to rebuild those. He's up to Castle Age, will start making horse archers, but his numbers won't be impressive, and there's a lot of archers in his face already.
He can only make 5 horse archers, that's it. He doesn't have the wood.
And that's 5 or 6 buildings destroyed here by GiveUAnxiety. That's 300 food, 300 gold just from that looting bonus of the Mongols. And you see, archers are moving in from the north as well, supported by the Khan. Villagers being pulled to destroy the rams, but the archers are there. And this is a fiesta for GUA. He just needs to snap down the villagers. Looks like he focuses on the scouts instead. 1 ram goes down. It's a little underwhelming for GUA that he didn't get more villager kills here, but He's in Castle Age now.
He would have if he had his Khan with him to use the attack speed arrow, but the Khan was idle on the top side of Don Artie's base.
Looks like more archers are coming in. GiveUAnxiety himself is not far away from Castle. And now we're seeing horsemen coming in. It's probably going to be a full Feudal Age dream and just say, okay, you banged up a lot of wood, but what happens if I just keep pressuring that wood line? At some point, you run out of wood. And you see Don Artie is now pretty much out of it. He can buy himself a tiny bit using the Golden Gate, but that's basically it.
Oh, really nice hit and hide from Don Artie.
That's a beautiful micro indeed. Jumps out of the tower, gets one volley of torches in, and then jumps back in. The question is this enough for him? Because you see, all he can do right now to push GUA is 3 horse archers being sent to counterattack, but behind this, the tower goes down, and so will the villagers inside. Not even a lumber camp on that wood line, and currently Don Artie's eco is an absolute train wreck.
Yes, you remember when I told you what I see in this game is archers in that choke with a ram pushing the tower? That actually happened just now.
Well, there is a reason why you're a pro player, right?
Now, GiveUAnxiety ran out of food, and he's just now started making the pastures. So his transition into food will slow down his Castle Age timing.
Given that he even wants to go into Castle Age, because I can see him just trying to go full feudal at this point. He's invested a lot into those archers, he's making another ram. It might make sense for him to just go and start to steamroll those houses and those archer ranges once again. Every building you set on fire will just help you with your food count, so makes sense to just try to push those houses.
Exactly, your opponent cannot fight you, therefore what do? You just take down their houses. Eventually they will have to fight you if they don't have houses.
It's a very sad thing for Don Artie that he has to chop a Stout Forest. Stout Forests aren't really that great for chopping, because you don't have a huge amount of trees there, but that's how bad his situation is wood-wise. And you see, GUA will be like, okay, every single house goes down and you will not be able to make army.
And there's those villagers trying to take down the rams again, and so many villagers are going down.
Don Artie is getting pursued down south over here as well. And remember that Capoch won the first set. So Americas are leading 1-0 in the overall set, and this game is very much going towards GiveUAnxiety right now. Currently, Don Artie is at 23 villagers and 11 army. There's just nothing for him left now. There is the GG. What a game here by GiveUAnxiety. You predicted it really well. It's going to be a timing push with those archers and rams.
I told you, this guy is relentless. He doesn't stop attacking. If he puts it in his mind, he will just don't stop. He just doesn't stop.
And
very well played by Anxiety.
Obviously, part of the reason why Don Artie has had a rough day over here is because, as you said, he was very low on food at the beginning of the game, so he had to delay his transition to food quite a bit. He was just chopping wood, and that delayed his cast